With numerous assassination attempts throughout history, the security of US presidents must be exceptionally robust. And nothing describes this term better than the vehicle that transports the President of the United States of America. It is known as the Beast, and it is so heavily armored and resilient that it rivals a war tank, yet it exudes luxury. What few people know is that there are not just one or two of these limousines, but around 16 to 20 available for the transportation and protection of the President of the United States. And contrary to what it may seem, whenever the presidential motorcade passes by, it does not necessarily mean the President is in one of the limousines. He may be in another vehicle within the convoy, or may not even be in any of the escort vehicles at all. Everything depends on the level of threat the Secret Service identifies in the area. The Beast, as it is popularly known, is a car with several layers of the highest level of armor. It features various defensive countermeasures, including weapons and bombs on board, satellite phones, and an internal encrypted communication system that allows direct contact with the White House and the Pentagon. It has countermeasure devices to prevent explosions, a gas detection system, a fire suppression system, and can deploy smoke screens and oil slicks to hinder pursuers. Additionally, it has night vision cameras, radiation sensors, and a highly secure communication system to keep the President connected with the outside world. It can be started and shut down remotely. As if that were not enough, 2 bags of the President's blood type are kept on board in case of an emergency. But in truth, it is because of its many layers of armor that this car has been nicknamed the Beast. To begin with, the limousine is based on the chassis of a heavy-duty truck from General Motors and is manufactured by Cadillac, a division of General Motors itself. The current Beast was delivered to the United States Secret Service in 2018. The exact weight of the limousine is known only to a few living people, but it is estimated to range between 7,000 and 9,000 kilograms. This excessive weight is due to its formidable armor. The chassis of the Beast is built with highly resistant materials such as special steel, aluminum, titanium, ceramic, composite materials, and other high-strength composites. In some parts of the vehicle, the armor layers exceed 20 centimeters in thickness. This reinforced structure helps protect the vehicle from impacts, collisions, and especially from gunfire of various calibers and even explosions, particularly those from beneath the car. The doors of the limousine have a thickness comparable to that of a Boeing 757 aircraft door. This thickness is due to several layers of armor plating, capable of withstanding high-caliber bullet fire and explosions. The windows of the Beast do not roll down and are made of multi-layer glass, composed of polycarbonate glass layers and additional transparent and opaque materials capable of withstanding gunfire and all kinds of threats to its integrity. These windows are extremely thick, estimated to be 12.8 centimeters in thickness. Even if they are hit or damaged, they remain intact, maintaining the President's safety. In fact, once the Beast's doors are closed, the vehicle becomes hermetically sealed and nothing from outside can be heard. However, the Beast is equipped with external microphones and internal speakers so that its occupants can hear what is happening outside. A heavily armored and resistant chassis is useless if the tires are not equally protected. In the Beast, this aspect is not overlooked. In fact, the tires are made from a special rubber and Kevlar blend and can continue to roll flat, or even after being shot and punctured, running for tens of kilometers. This is due to steel reinforcements lining the inside of the tires, and perhaps the last thing you would expect is for the Beast, being a limousine, to be off-road capable. But it is. The limousine can drive on rough and off-road terrain if needed, and has four-wheel drive. This off-road capability is very important, and was one of the Secret Service's requirements during the car's construction, ensuring the President's safety in any scenario. The Beast is driven by a small, select group of drivers who are Secret Service agents. They are handpicked and undergo extensive training. Only the best of the best are qualified to sit behind the limousine's wheel. In addition, there is a team of mechanics who are also Secret Service agents. only they are authorized to work on the car for maintenance. In fact, only Secret Service agents and members of the president's official escort are allowed to approach the vehicle. During the president's movement from point A to point B, there can be anywhere from 10 to 45 cars. This includes police vehicles in front, 2 identical limousines, one of which carries the president. These limousines even share the same license plate. There are also 4 vehicles with Secret Service agents, one of which is the United States Secret Service Countermeasures Suburban, which is easy to identify as it is the only vehicle with antennas on the roof. This vehicle's mission, in addition to security, is to jam any kind of signals that could potentially trigger a remotely controlled bomb along the convoy's route. The 2 limousines and these 4 vehicles form what is called the secure package, meaning they are the most important vehicles in the entire escort. There is also the Hazardous Materials Mitigation Unit, a vehicle containing equipment and personnel to respond to chemical, nuclear, or biological attacks. There are ambulances, various other cars, and of course, multiple motorcycles. But this describes movement between nearby locations within the United States. What happens when the president intends to visit another city within the American territory? How is that done? Well, that is when things get much more interesting and much more expensive. Suppose the president is in Washington and wants to visit a farm in Kankakee, Chicago, which he actually did in May of 2022. First, Marine One, the presidential helicopter, would land at the White House. In less than 10 minutes, the president is taken to Andrews Air Force Base, where Air Force One, the official presidential plane, awaits him. Air Force One then takes off and flies the president to Chicago's International Airport. From there, the president boards Marine One again and flies to Bradley Airport in Kankakee. From there, it is just a few minutes by car to the final destination. He then boards the Beast or another presidential car that takes him to the farm. But how did Marine One and the Beast end up in Chicago? Another Marine One had already been dispatched aboard a military aircraft and delivered to Chicago's International Airport. The same happened with the Beast. This demonstrates how a simple visit can become something so complex, and how well these visits are planned by the Secret Service. In fact, whenever the president travels anywhere, the Secret Service always opts for him to travel only in American presidential vehicles, in this case, the Beast, and fly only in American presidential aircraft, Air Force One and Marine One. This minimizes surprises, ensures better control, and allows for a very low probability of something going seriously wrong. Unfortunately, many details about the vehicle are highly classified. It's a level of protection most of us will never experience. And yet, even the most advanced machines sometimes carry hidden vulnerabilities. Take the F-117 Nighthawk, for example, one of the most secretive aircraft ever built. But despite its revolutionary design, it had a fatal flaw. Find out how one tiny flaw brought down the world's most secretive aircraft by clicking this video on your screen.